And it's an autumn day, so the leaves are dying outside, and I can see the fjord. You want to have a little look?
Yeah, of
Can
course.
you see any of this?
Oh. And
Okay.
what is behind the trees? Is sea? No.
Yeah, it's the fjord. So Oslo
fjord.
is. I'm living south of Oslo, so this is like a peninsula where I'm living to the south of Oslo. So whenever I want to go into the city, I have to take a boat.
It's beautiful. I will not show my landscape because
No, me neither.
Your country is the most beautiful country, I think, in the world. I spent some time around Granada.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of the Neanderthals. And you know, Spain has some of the richest sites in the world with Neanderthal finds. So my biggest dream is to run up in the mountains because there's so many small caves,
Mhm.
and maybe one day find my own Neanderthal.
Did you visit
cave.
the one that is in the north, Atapuerca? Because they find a human there. He's not Neanderthal, but I don't remember the name now, but he's the most famous in Spain.
He was Homo erectus.
Okay.
And
That
yeah,
one.
I know the site, and I
Only a crow on the wire in the silver sky we fly. When they broke through the frame, filled up our minds with broken bones, brought a piece of the art, and then they threw it all away. We are strangers in the silver sky we fly. We are hunger, you will know us all in
I
time.
don't think so.
But they have. I know they sometimes do concerts.
Really?
Yeah, there was. I think it was classical music.
Natives lie pale in riverbeds.
Yeah, but the guitars, maybe the
They
vibration
will
is too heavy
take
for
from
for
us
that.
till us what we owe.
So it would be fantastic.
While you throw your coins into the fountain,
Government's going to kill us.
or maybe
or
you can
you
dance
keep
inside
them
if
for
everything
your
falls.
It would
eyes.
be like cartoon. That would be funny, but I don't think the people of Spain are going to be, that
Yeah, they are not
particularly
gonna
interested in
understand.
having that destroyed. So anyway, all of Earth is beautiful, I think.
Okay, let's begin a fantastic intro with you, Thomas.
Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Thomas Andersen. This is Jordi Tárrega from Barcelona, writing for Stairway to Rock magazine in Spain, and Yolanda Sabater from Canterbury in England. Hello, Yolanda.
Hello, sorry. How are you?
Well, thank you for your time and for this interview. My first question was, where are you right now? But it is not necessary. So, okay, I think that the Gazpacho is a band that has something special and different. And people have got the opportunity to listen and to watch the two lyric videos, Eight Ball and We Are Strangers. So, are you reading the comments in YouTube about these two songs, or maybe you are this kind of person that prefer not to read anything?
I read the comments on YouTube, and it's always really scary because you've probably spoken to lots of people, and I'm sure you're like that yourself. If 1,000 people say a good thing about you, it's just, but if somebody says one bad thing, you remember it all the time. So I try to read them and say, well, I'm reading them like this, but yeah, I do read comments, but I've never listened to my own interviews or seen myself being interviewed because I'm scared that if I think I look like an idiot or sound like an idiot, then I will be scared of doing them. So I try not to put myself in situations where I can damage something that works, however good or bad it is. So I do read comments, but I never watch myself or listen to myself live.
Mhm.
Okay, let's talk about the symbol of the pool black ball with the 8. I must confess, I didn't realize that was the 8 ball. You have to look it with really detail. At the beginning, I thought that was kind of an eye, but no. And this symbol is associated usually with bad luck. So why this symbol for the name of the album and for the front cover?
Because, and it's a complicated question, but the answer is that the album is about fate. One day something's going to happen to you, maybe good, maybe bad. Maybe tomorrow you win 1 billion euros in the European lottery.
Hopefully.
Maybe tomorrow I fall off the cliff and break my neck or drown in the sea. There is in the future things that are going to happen to us. And when science took hold in the history of Europe, we lost religion, especially in the Western world and especially towards the north. I know that religion in Spain, you still have quite a strong Catholic, and you have the processions in the streets and you have saints. But I think especially in Northern Europe, we lost God a little bit. And because for some reason people thought that God could not be mixed with science. So we took God down and we said, no, there is no God. Here is the theory of evolution, and here is the scientific method, and here is everything. And if you get cancer, or if you become sick, your doctor is going to tell you it was bad luck for you. You had bad luck. Whereas before the removal of God, we could all believe that there was meaning. So you could think, well, maybe God does this to me for a reason. Maybe there's a reason behind everything. Maybe it all makes sense somehow. And the idea of the album is the moment we removed God, or we removed our tradition and our folk stories, then we took God down, but we didn't put anything to replace God. So all we have now is this plastic toy, the Magic 8 Ball, which is basically the idea that random things, like if your ceiling falls down on your head now, is just something that happens with no meaning. It's like shaking the ball and you get an answer. We've lost the sense that there is a logic. We've lost logic, and we've put in place of that scientific logic. Was that even remotely possible to understand?
No, it's
No, yeah, we
Mhm.
got the idea. Yeah, more or less. Even it's a big thing. Yeah, it's.
So the symbol on the 8 ball, the idea is that we thought about this cult that instead of worshiping God, they start worshiping this plastic toy 8 ball, which is supposed to be the modern Western people. And the idea of this cult is that you were looking at it the wrong way. Because if you look at an 8, if you put it on the side, it becomes a symbol of infinity, and at least I think in Buddhism, the symbol for God. So that's the idea. We created a God that is nothing.
You always go deep in
Yeah.
it's something that it's a trademark or it's what I hope from a ventral of like Gazpacho, I think.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, but it's what we do.
Mm-hmm. No, it's great. I want to talk about. I got the opportunity to listen to the album 3 times. Yolanda too, and I got people at home and listening to the album, and my girlfriend says, "Hey, I love this kind of band." So
Woohoo.
I have to say that, well, more or less, I think it's there is a connection with your last album, Fireworker. By the way, it's my favorite album.
Oh, thank you.
But so do you think that in terms of sound, you are connected with the 5 years old album? I think.
on this album, we wanted to try to have a little bit more rock music, some more guitars, some more tempo, because sometimes I felt that on all of the old Fireworker, Soyuz, going back, I felt that sometimes the band had too much of the hypnotic music that just go doom, 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 doom. So we wanted to try and see if we could get something which had more immediate and more melody and less of that sort of Massive Attack mezzanine kind of hypnotic passages. So there was a similarity in the sense that I guess you could say for some reason all of the albums sound like a Gazpacho album. You can hear, if you put it on, you can hear, yeah, this is Gazpacho. But at least I like to think that it also has moved on a little bit and has developed in some way, I think. But there is definitely is a connection to the Fireworker album.
Do you usually listen your previous albums before to start to compose a new one?
Yeah, we do. But I'm always 2 albums behind. Because like Fireworker, I still can't listen to Fireworker because once an album is finished, I've worked on it so much that all I can hear are all the mistakes. Because you get tunnel vision and you get so concentrated on all the little details that you forget the big picture. So right now I'm starting to listen to Soyuz, which is what, 7 years old or whatever. And that's the album that I can now listen to. And now it's fantastic to me. But when it was finished, I was like, oh my God, what have we done? You know, our career is over because this is terrible. And I need some years between the albums so I can listen to them. I think it's a little bit like I have an 18-year-old daughter. She is beautiful, but she's looking in the mirror. She's saying, oh my God, look at this terrible little thing here. And I'm like, no, you're beautiful. But you only see the mistakes when you're close to something. So to get the big picture, we need to step back a little bit. So we listen to the albums, but never consciously, because we always try to, if possible, renew the music if we can.
You've got 2 singles out. I have to say that they are short songs. So I love the long ones, the longest ones. But how do you decide a single? It's because the 4-minute song, or maybe how?
The singles are decided by the fact that if you are going to see these singles, then you are probably on social media. Because we are all always on social media. So I work in advertising, and when I talk to the people that work with Facebook and Snapchat and Twitter and all of these, they say that you have in advertising 0.6 seconds to grab someone's attention. Now, if you take a look at the first song on the album, Starling, I think the intro for Starling is like 4 minutes. So there's no way anyone's going to stop their scroll for 4 minutes. I even see that myself. If I'm looking at Reddit and reading Reddit posts, it's going to take a lot for me to give it time. So the albums themselves are made for those times when you can sit down maybe with a glass of wine and listen, and hopefully you can get something out of that. But with singles and the short attention span, we need to go for songs that have a more immediate impact, because we know the time is limited to get the attention. And of course, the job of the singles is 2 jobs. Job number 1 is to tell all the people that like Gazpacho that something new is happening. You need to find out how to get involved with that. And the other job is hopefully to grab some new fans, if possible, in this day and age for this kind of music. So that's why the singles are chosen to be like that. And also, I think especially with both of the songs that were picked for singles for this album, they're kind of, I would say, Gazpacho songs, but also not typical Gazpacho songs. They're a little bit different from maybe what you usually get in our stuff. So we hoping to sort of signal that there's a renewal going on.
I have to say that I listened the album when I was working. I work in a laboratory, or even when I go with the bike. So I cannot retain the name of the song, but there is one that in the middle of the song it starts to sound like a space sound, like electronic. And it breaks a little bit the rhythm of the song, but it's really nice. And I listened it twice, and it did the same reaction to me. I will try to find it, because I was trying to listen before, but you connect 5 minutes early, and
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's super fine. It's super fine. But this is probably my favorite song. I don't know if you know what I mean, but it's probably my.
It could be the song Unrisen, which is the last song on the album, where there is a little bit of spacey keyboard, but I don't know. But thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Listening the album, we agree, Jordi and me, that you have a strong relation or connection with Marillion. We are right?
Of course. We started Gazpacho because we were huge Marillion fans. And we started the band originally as a little bit of a joke, because the reason why it's called Gazpacho, and the reason it all happened was because we were in my studio and we thought, what would it be if we made a band that made music that had the same approach to what songs could be about as Marillion, but we made it Latino music, like mariachi music, Mexican mariachi music, Latino rhythms. So that was the idea for Gazpacho. It was a joke. And then we tried to make Marillion style songs, but with Latino beats. And then when our singer Jan Enric came in, all of the songs turned into these serious songs. And we're like, no, we can't. We're trying to make this Latino and fun and, mariachi party music, but with serious content. So we've been connected to Marillion all along. And because we knew the guys a little bit, we got to tour with them on the 2004 Marbles tour, where we could become even greater friends with them. I mean, we're still great buddies with all the guys in Marillion. And I think they are incredibly special because, to me, Marillion has a special place in sort of music history, because I can't think of any other bands that do what Marillion are doing.
No, yeah.
Not Gazpacho either, but they have this magic touch of making you feel something. And that's what it's all about to me. I'm always looking for emotion in music. And I think the secret is the mixture of a great melody with a great lyric. And Marillion are masters of that, I think.
I have to say,
pardon.
Sorry, I attended the last Marillion weekend in Girona, and was amazing. And I know you have been you play in 2 Marillion weekends.
Yeah, we played three. We played
Three.
the one in Oslo in April as well.
Next year?
No, that was
okay. Last year.
April we played with them.
Okay.
And it was a fantastic experience. It's been such a long time since we played to the Marillion fans, but they all greeted us with great generosity, and we had a great time doing it. So, we have no shame, and we have no problem in admitting that we love Marillion. We grew up with Fish. So when we were nerdy teenagers, Fish was our sort of hero. And then when we became a little bit cooler, Steve Hogarth came in as a singer, and then we could have a little bit of a cooler role model. So it sort of worked perfectly with our ascent into adulthood. And I still love Mr. H. I mean, the man is crazy, but he's a beautiful person.
Okay, coming back for a moment with the name. So we can understand more or less the name of Gazpacho is chosen because you are a mixture of the several things together. Okay. My question is, did you regret of this name in any point or
No.
not?
No, I've never regretted it. And I will tell you why. Because whenever I'm talking about this music, or if you look at the albums, it all seems very serious. It is serious. And I'm always afraid of looking pompous. You know, I'm scared of, I'm not the kind of person who's sitting in a cafe in Paris with a beret and little glasses and, you know, reading, you know, and I'm having a red wine. We're fun guys. We're normal people. I like to think that if somebody calls me on the phone, I'll pick it up and talk to them. So even if the music is serious and the content is serious and everything's serious in a Gazpacho universe, I think it's sort of crazy to have this music under the name Gazpacho. You know, it's just, it's silly and it's
Yeah.
funny, and we have to laugh too, don't we? Sometimes.
Okay, I have to tell you that my first experience with Gazpacho was in Beep Rock Festival years ago in Barcelona.
Ah, I remember
But
that.
like with the sun, and I have to confess that it was difficult for me to get into your music, but on the other hand, I listened to the album Fireworker and blowed my mind. And wow, I think that your music it's not easy to get into, but when you go deep, you discover an amazing world. So it's curious because it was a really good concert with violin, but I didn't connect. So I want to ask you about your experience in Deep Rock because in Barcelona is we have a celebration of the festival again. So maybe next year you are welcome here.
Well, that would be fantastic. We want to do as many festivals as we can. And I can remember B-Prog very well because, first of all, I can remember that my Mac, which is where I get my sounds from. Right now, I've changed to a laptop. I'm rehearsing I don't know if you can see, I'm rehearsing right now Song Magic 8 Ball. But the Mac in which I'm talking to you now was the one I was using for the B-Prog. It was standing in the sun all day and it died.
Oh.
And because soundcheck was early in the morning, when I came onto the stage, the Mac was dead and I had to restart it while the intro was playing. And I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen here? And also, it was such a warm day. And being an idiot, I was playing with sunglasses. I wanted to look like a rock star. And because when you're playing the keyboards, you're looking down, and the sweat from my head came into the sunglasses, so I couldn't see the keyboards. So I had to empty the glasses of sweat to maintain my cool look as the rock star.
It's important.
And I was restarting my Mac, sweating down my glasses. It was a gig with a lot of technical difficulties, but it was a great time. And I think we were playing with, was it Steve Hackett maybe?
Yeah, Steve Hackett. Wow.
Because I'm a huge Genesis fan, of course, like everybody who is intelligent. And I got to meet Steve Hackett, which was an amazing moment. He's a really nice guy. So for me, that was like my childhood came back to me because I grew up also, of course, on old Gabriel and Phil Collins Genesis. So B-Prog, I remember, and we'd love to come back anytime.
Did you play also the guitar? Do you know what it is?
No, the guitar. No.
Yes. No?
No.
Do you like it?
I'd love to. Yeah, I think it looks ridiculous, but at the same time, I'd love to have one. If they were cheap, I would probably buy one just for fun.
All right.
But then I have to wear a cape and be like Rick Wakeman, you know.
Okay, I reviewed the Live at St. Croix, an amazing live album. Maybe we can say it was a pandemic live. I suppose that you decided to record a live album because there was no opportunity to play live.
Yeah. We decided that because we rehearsed the tour, we were ready to tour. So we knew all the songs. We had this big tour that was lined up. We couldn't do it. So then they said, well, if we know all the songs, why don't we take the money that would have gone to the tour bus, and then we use that money to make a live album. And then all the people that missed out could still see the show and see the live show. So that's why we did it. Also just to keep the momentum of the band, because I think like anything that's alive, I think if you stay still too long, it's very dangerous. It's like if you jog, then don't take a 2-week break, because you'll never get back into the routine. With a band, you need to be working all the time, or else it can sort of become something you forget about. So the live album was sort of a keeping movement going in the band. That was very important to us, because we thought it would be stupid not to do it as well, since we knew all the songs and we were ready to tour.
It's a magic album. If when I have to show to somebody Gazpacho music, I always play this stuff of this live album.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I think it's pretty, I mean, we thought about doing an actual live film with audience, but it wasn't allowed. And we also thought maybe we could let people see what it's like, because we recorded it where we rehearse. So what does it look like if the band is just playing the music? No fans, no lights, no nothing, just static. So we tried to make sort of an honest representation of what it looked like when we play. So that's it. That's how it is. And then we hope people would accept us and love us for who we are.
Mm-hmm.
I have one question. I think Jordi write this. Make a Star Song Contest. I don't know what is, but you won twice. It's not a common thing. So can you explain for me and for the audience what is this a little? And congrats, I think.
I don't know if it's much to congratulate about, but
No?
what it was that, well, as I was talking about, we were originally trying to make the mariachi version of Marillion. Then we came up with a song which was called The Sea of Tranquility, which is on our first album, which is called Bravo. And then John, our guitar player at the time, had a job where he didn't have to work. He was in the pharmaceutical industry, which you were in the labs. Are you in pharmaceutical labs?
Chemistry. It is close to that, yeah.
Yeah, what are you making?
I'm working more in inorganics. Pharmaceutic is fully organic, but yeah, it's kind of similar. But I have to work. I don't.
No.
Yeah.
But he was a marketing representative at the time, and he was working with adult diapers. And because his company was bought by another company, I don't think they knew what to do with him. So one day his job was dead, but he was still on the payroll, and they didn't fire him. And this was in the early days of the internet. So he spent every day just trying to promote these songs we were making. Because if you're sitting in your basement making music, no one's ever going to hear of you. And then he entered the song in the Make a Star contest, which I think was probably a scam, because I think you paid like 50 euros to be part of it was probably a scam. But he had money, so he entered the song, and then we won the contest, and they made a CD with the winning songs. I've never seen the CD, but they claimed to make a CD. I don't know if it's true, but that's the Make a Star contest.
But twice.
Yeah, he fell for the same scam twice. That's all I can say. But you have to start somewhere, and the one thing which I'm sure you'll agree with is that the one thing we know is that if you don't try, nothing is ever going to happen, no matter what.
Is what I want to say. You have to keep pushing. Is the philosophy, yeah?
And if you look like an idiot, then so be it. Because if you sit alone in your house and lock the doors and shut the windows, no one's ever going to laugh at you, but there's also nothing will ever happen. You need to always take risks, and life is short. And as we talked about, fate is out there. Maybe tomorrow something bad happens, but also maybe tomorrow something good happens.
Yeah.
So you need to, I mean, I sound like an American, but you need to go out there and get active. So that was an example of that maybe one person heard that Make a Star song that worked somewhere in the industry. Maybe one guy who commented on the song on some internet forums got the ball rolling. No one knows. As you, I'm sure you'd agree, it's organic.
Yes.
Get it?
Yeah.
So it's, I think mostly, as I've been doing this for many years, I always think that there's always such a risk of meeting people like you, exposing a lot of the things that we're thinking about because we're sort of adult, or we're the most hated demographic on earth, which is white middle-aged men. And no one likes the white middle-aged man. And I think for us to be as honest and as open as we are is a big risk because we're also kind of shy. So I learned early to sort of hide shyness by having a flamboyant personality and by using humor. But at the center, I think everyone's sort of shy at their total,
Yeah.
in their inner sense. It's just how good we are at hiding it, unless we are extreme extroverts and narcissists, which I hope I am not. But it's a big risk to expose yourself in any way. It's like if you're in a meeting, do you dare to talk?
Yeah.
And I think I've learned that if you're in a meeting and you don't know what's going on, then it's okay to say, I don't have a clue what you're all talking about, and then risk looking like an idiot. And then the same applies with releasing an album. And so much of your personality is tied into it. And it's so dangerous because if everyone hated it and just say, this is shit, then, you're going to get your feelings hurt. But then again, that's the name of the game, and you have to risk it. So I don't have, now I've talked myself out of whatever the question was, but this is my feeling on releasing an album.
Yeah, I forgot the question too.
Yeah, I forgot it too. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's land again. You have played with Marillion, Steve Hackett, but if you had the opportunity to tour with a prog band, which band would you choose?
All right, let me answer this, but the answer will be two answers. The dream would be to tour with Kate Bush.
Wow, really difficult, I think.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. But Kate Bush is, I think, Hounds of Love is the best album ever made. No question. But at the same time, I don't think that you or I would consider her a prog rock band, which was your question. See, this time I remember the question. But if we could tour with the prog rock band, and if we remove Marillion from this, I would love to tour with either Genesis in the Phil Collins era, because that was just amazing, or maybe the Mars Volta.
Great band too.
I love the Mars Volta. I think they're an eclectic mix of crazy and great musicianship. And for some strange reason, I think that would work, because you could have Gazpacho doing the big, long, heavy, full fat numbers. And you could have Mars Volta shaking it all up, shaking the Magic 8 Ball. And then I think that would be one hell of a show. What do you think of that?
I think it's, I would love Kate Bush, but I have to say that Yolanda and I, if there is a tour with Marillion and Gazpacho, wow, for us it's perfect.
Yeah, it would be perfect for me as well.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Yolanda, let's go for the three last questions.
Yes, just let me add a comment, because you don't publish a lot of dates of the tour, so I don't know you're gonna release some of them soon, or because I assume that you are gonna tour, no, presenting the new album, or
We are touring in April, around Easter time next year. The tour is being booked by our manager.
perfect.
He has no tour dates for me yet, or else I would share them all with you immediately. I don't know if we're going to Spain, but we've asked and we want to go to Spain.
Oh, okay,
So that all depends on the economics of the venture.
sure.
I seem to remember that last time we played in Spain, we had quite an empty venue, I think, when we were touring on the TikTok album, which was the last time I think we were in Spain on a tour that wasn't a festival. But maybe if we could go to the B-Prog festival, maybe that could cover Spain. But this is all above my pay grade because it's all the manager stuff who deals with.
No
But-
worries.
Oh yeah, we will be touring, and we have said that we want to do all festivals that come our way. So if you know the big B-Prog people, tell them we're ready, willing, and able.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to say that in 1 year ago, we talked with weather systems people, Daniel Cabana, and he told me, "Can you tell Josema?" And I asked the answer.
Josema, no, Juanma.
Juanma,
My name is
so
Juanma.
sorry. and he played it this year, so why not? I will help you.
Give him a bottle of wine and just say, "Hey guys, you know."
No, but in Murcia they prefer the beer because they are from. It's fine. It's a joke.
Well, then buy him a case of the best Murcian beer.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
Yolanda.
Should I start? Okay. So these are 3 classical questions that we usually ask to all the musicians that we interview. So the first one is, if you have a big budget of money to invest in a live show, what would you like to do?
The first thing I thought of was a live orchestra, but then I thought no, because I've never ever seen an orchestra and a band work together. I think the keyboards are better for orchestras than orchestras are good for orchestras with bands.
But the answer that you give me at the beginning, playing in the cave,
Yes, yes. Thank you.
That's-
You saved my life. But if the budget was huge, I would love to add to that. Maybe if we could have the bones of that Homo erectus
oh yeah, come on. You need a big budget.
and some
And the
of them,
orchestra.
because in the caves in Nerja, they have some sections which are not open to the public. They have original artwork from Neanderthals.
Huh?
So with this budget which you are proposing,
Mhm.
I want to take those actual cave walls, cut them out, and bring them onto the stage. That's my dream gig with a huge budget.
I think it's the most original answer we
Absolutely.
got. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, which is the first time you cried in a concert? Do you remember the band and the song?
I do. This was, well, it's a funny story. I'll tell you the funny story. This was an Ultravox around
Oh,
it was when they were touring their U-Vox album. So what would that be? That would be 1988, maybe, because I was a huge Ultravox fan, and I can remember this day. Yeah. I love Ultravox, and the album Rage in Eden is, of course, to me my favorite. But on this day, my mother had made pork chops, and I was wearing a sweater, and because you fry pork chops, I was stinking like pork. And I remember I went to the concert. This was in the concert hall for classical music in Oslo. And I remember I was sitting next to these 2 beautiful girls. And I was a bit of a nerd, and I was like, oh shit. And then I could just feel the smell of the pork chops coming off my sweater. And I was like, oh no, that was terrible. But I cried when they did the song Dancing with Tears in My Eyes, which I think is an amazing song. And I was such a huge fan. So that was the first time I cried in a concert.
It's a really original situation, I think. But I have to say, Mitch Ure, this guy is amazing, and Ultravox was probably Dancing with Tears in My Eyes is the and well they got really good songs connected with heavy metal and with Dire Straits, but it's really great.
I love all of their music, absolutely everything. I grew up on the the blue cassette, collection.
Mm.
It was like the collected singles of Ultravox. I listened to that thousands of times. Huge fan.
Yolanda, maybe you know Kingdom Come. The song Kingdom Come is from Ultravox too. It's
No, I have
amazing.
homeworks because I don't know any of the bands that you mentioned. So, well,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Genesis, I know, but some of them.
No, you will enjoy this stuff. Okay, let's go for the last question. It's a really difficult one. Which is the first album you bought with your own money?
First album I bought with my own money was Michael Jackson's Thriller. Back in 1981, maybe, I was in Kuwait. And in Kuwait, they pirate, because I don't know if it was the law, but this is a Muslim country, so I think they had a lot of piracy. And they had the souk, which was the market where you could go, you could buy fish, meat, gold, everything. And in the souk in Kuwait, there was a guy sitting on the ground. He was selling pirate copied cassettes. So he would buy the vinyl and record it to cassette, and record it to cassette, and record it to cassette. I mean, all the time it must have been running. And I bought Michael Jackson's Thriller. And the first actual single I bought was Take On Me with a-ha in 85.
Great
84.
names.
85.
Great.
Yeah, they were fantastic albums. So those are my first ones. And the first major buy I made was Kate Bush, Hounds of Love. That's the first time that I actually went and bought a vinyl LP. With Take On Me, it was a single. So I've answered too much for this question, but now you have the total and full truth. But before we leave, there's one thing you should mention, or that I should say, because the guy who does all our artwork, Antonio Seaz, is a Spanish artist. Have you heard of him?
No.
Can you repeat?
Antonio Seaz.
No. We will, more homeworks, okay?
We will check. Yeah.
He is from the northern Spain. We met him at a Marillion weekend where he was doing, I can't remember, but he has been our art designer, and he's done all our covers all the way from the album Firebird, which is probably 10 albums ago. And he's done all of them. We cooperate with him in the sense that he gets all our demos. He creates his own images of what the songs are about. And sometimes, if the lyric isn't fully finished, we can take some ideas from his artwork and put into the final lyrics, because his interpretation is so great. So the Gazpacho connection to Spain is double. One is, of course, the name. And the other is Antonio Seaz, the great artist, who has also done the cover for one of the Marillion albums, by the way. So it's Spain all the way.
Perfect ending, I think.
Yeah.
Yolanda.
So I think more or less we are done, right? Yeah. Only we can ask you a small favor. If you can record 5 seconds saying, "Hi all, I am Thomas Andersen from the band Gazpacho. Please check my interview for Stairway to Rock."
Hi, I'm Thomas Andersen from the band Gazpacho. Please listen to my interview on Stairway to Rock. Did it work? Could I remember it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We will upload in our social medias, just if you want to check.
Oh,
Thank you very
fantastic.
much.
You want me to do one more, a little bit slower?
No, it's fine. It's fine. I think it's, yeah. Don't worry. Thank you very much.
You're such a pro. Well, all right. Thank you very much, guys. Don't forget to check out Antonio.
Yeah, sure.
He's almost like the 7th member of the band. And thank you very much for taking this time with me. And now, since you asked that question about budget, I'm going to call the manager and say, tell him to set up something in the caves in Nerja. Am I
Yeah.
saying Nerja right?
Yeah, Nerja. Yeah, it's because this J is. Yeah, it's fine.
I know it's a tourist place, but we went to Nerja not to be tourists, but because I wanted to see the cave. So I feel I can go to Nerja without being one of the tourists that all of you Spanish now hate so much.
If you achieve that, we will be there. Don't worry.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
I think there's only space for 50 people, but I'll keep two seats in the front for you. And I'll get Major to join us as well to do some of the old Ultravolt songs. What do you think?
It's a dream.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys. Enjoy your weekend.
Okay, you
And,
too.
if you have
Nice
any
to meet
questions,
you.
just pop me an email.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.